All right. So, today's video is on the CDC's decision. Wait, was it CDC's or WHO's? Probably WHO's decision to rename monkeypox to mpox. Now, I'm not going to comment. Sorry, I had something spicy for dinner. So, I'm not going to complain about the lack of creativity for turning monkeypox into mpox because they do it with AIDS, they do it with COVID. They like to just shorten things as opposed to come up with some bizarre name for things, which is fine. My problem with the change is their reasoning. They reason that it will cause stigma and racism. I'm sorry, what? Now, I realize that racists like to compare black people to monkeys. But this was never a question with this. None of the outbreaks started amongst black people. It originated in monkeys. Well, we know that that's the first population we saw monkeypox in. That's how it got its name, because it first was seen in monkeys. Has nothing to do with black people. So, and the latest outbreak was amongst gay people. Now, granted, a lot of people stigmatized that this was a gay person's disease because apparently they don't have a memory that goes back 10 years when a bunch of animals that had the disease, bunch of mammals that had the disease, spread it in the United States when a shipment of said animals arrived from Ghana. So, except for the fact that Ghana has a majority black population, that has nothing to do with, still has nothing to do with black people. And again, the bigots are latching on to this being a gay person's disease because they don't have a memory going back 10 years. So, again, no reason to change the name. Now, I understand changing the names like the Spanish flu, because that was propaganda even at the time. I don't know how German measles got its name, but I'm sure it has something to do with that as well. Either propaganda or that it was first spotted in Germany for real. I don't know. I haven't looked into that one, but I understand changing those names, which technically that's just layman's vernacular. That's not what scientists call German measles. They don't call German measles German measles. So, but I get that. That makes sense. To assume that monkeypox is an affliction of black people when nowhere in the history was that the case, at least in this country, because obviously if you're in a majority country that has majority black people, yeah, you're probably going to get a lot of black people that have it, like the Ebola outbreak in Africa. But again, statistics. But in this country, there was never an outbreak of monkeypox that only affected black people. So why is WHO deciding to? It's one of those cases, and I didn't really think about it until I listened to Trevor Noah. It's one of those cases where they're so sensitive, where someone wants to be so anti-racist that they actually end up being racist because they're solving a problem that didn't need solving. Now, if this was an affliction of a majority black population, I could see why they'd be like, yeah, probably not the best name for that. But that was never the case. It originated, to our knowledge, in monkeys. That's literally the name, why it got the name monkeypox. It had no racist undertones, and even now, again, like I said, the only bigotry associated with it is because the latest outbreak affected gay and bisexual men. So, of course, the bigots latched on to that, even though its history was not just gay and bi men. So, I mean, yeah, I get it that you don't want bigots to have something to latch onto, but if an outbreak of a disease were to affect just a certain population of people, and those people were a minority, the bigots are going to latch onto it regardless of what you call it. It's like I said, monkey has no association with gay people. But the bigots latched onto it because the latest outbreak was affecting gay people. So I don't see why they felt the need to change this name, because like I said, number one, it has nothing to do with black people, and it hasn't affected the majority population of black people, unless there was an outbreak of it where the majority of the population, if not the entire country, was black. In which case, well, of course. I mean, it's not like it's a disease that's found a minority population and and only affected that and nobody else. Okay, then I could see some, but there was no reason to change that. Trevor Noah also made fun of the fact that mpox, the M just stands for monkeypox, and so you're gonna find out what it's called eventually anyway. That bothers me a little less because, like I said, they're not exactly creative with their names. It was their coronavirus turned into COVID-19. It just stands for coronavirus disease from the year 2019. That's all it stands for. So, not the most creative name. So, again, there's a lot of great reasons to question this. And like Trevor said, that kind of makes you the racist because literally nobody was thinking that. And again, bigots are going to find a way to latch onto something that they don't like and attach it to a group of people they don't like. They don't need the name to give them permission to do that. So, unless the members of who got got a lot of people just assuming that it affects black people or something, I honestly have no clue why they figured that this was attaching a stigma to anything. Because what stigma? It wasn't affecting the population that bigots refer to as monkeys anyway. It makes no sense. Let's see if there's anything else about this, since I just keep repeating myself. I think I got this one covered, so I will see you in the next video.